A team of European scientists and historians are working on a scheme to recreate a library of scents from history. The three-year project aims to capture what people would have smelled in their day-to-day lives, starting from the 1500s, like the smell of incense and plague repellents. Well, the research team hopes to complete an encyclopedia of European aromas, which could give insights into the experience of people from the past. Well, for more on this, we're joined by William Tullett, who's working on the project. Hello there to you. Great to have you with us. There's a grant of nearly €3 million that's been put into this project. That seems like an awfully, lot of money there. Why is this so important?
Well, I think it's important because smell is one of our senses. It's one of the ways we experience the world around us, and it's really crucial to everyday lives. And I think during COVID, we've had a really nice demonstration of that. Smell loss, anosmia, has been one of the symptoms of COVID, and people who've experienced that, or indeed just experienced not being able to go into public spaces like restaurants, bars, and other places, and not experiencing those smells, I think have realised how important smell was to their daily lives. And so I think a sense that's as important as smell really deserves a history, and we ought to integrate that into our cultural heritage.
And when that is integrated into the cultural heritage, how will we be able, let's say, to utilise it? How will we be able to access this encyclopedia of aromas?
So we're going to have an online encyclopedia of historical smells, which will be the first of its kind, which will be available online by the end of the project, including historical biographies of key aromas in European history, as well as key noses that smelled them. But we're also going to be using smell kits and smell recreations in museums across Europe as well, like the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam, where we'll be matching smells to paintings, and also using these smell kits with key aromas from Europe's past to really engage the public with the smells themselves, as well as the information about them.
And just tell me, how can you know that these are the actual smells that existed back then? There must be a certain amount of guesswork because there can be no certitude in that respect.
Well, I mean, in some respects, we are overburdened with source material on smell. So the project is going to be using thousands and thousands of texts from the 16th and 17th century onwards, as well as collections of hundreds of thousands of historical images, from portraits to landscape paintings, which can all give us amazing information about the smells of the past. Once you start looking in historical sources, smell really is everywhere. So I think we're going to have some certitude about exactly the types of smells that were all across Europe throughout the last 4 to 5 centuries.
And just briefly now, are you expecting to be assailed by nice smells or some pretty terrible odours?
Well, I think it's a combination of the two, really. I think we'd all expect the past to smell terrible, but actually one of the points of the project is to get people to understand that whilst there are undoubtedly foul smells in the past, there are also plenty of fragrant ones too. And so, for example, one of the things we're going to be looking at is the history of perfume and the perfume industry. So there'll be fragrant smells as well as foul smells from the project.